Hello, Internet friends. I'm Ryan, and this is Demos in the Dark. 2021 is coming to a close, which means it's time for another year-end list. So grab yourself a lapdog, cup of coffee, and let's do this. 2021 has been a challenging year for all of us as we're still in the throes of a global pandemic, and that has affected supply chain for manufacturers kicking out effects pedals, whether that supply chain has been all but halted or delayed or diverted. Shipping, we still have cargo ships sitting outside of ports sometimes for weeks at a time, and a lot of those have parts on them necessary to make effects pedals. So manufacturers have had to get creative, but they managed to kick out a lot of really great stuff this year. And I reduce this selection down to effects pedals that were featured here on Demos in the Dark in the year 2021. Released in 2021 and featured here. I'm sure there were lots of really great pedals that I never got the opportunity to try. But if I never tried them, I don't know. So we're gonna go with this list here. Fuzz is built right into the DNA of Demos in the Dark because I love fuzz pedals. I just find them so intriguing. And so I wanna start with a couple of fuzz pedals from 2021 that I thought were very thought-provoking and very cool. The first is the Fairfield Circuitry About 900 fuzz. It is a JFET fuzz. It's not a transistor fuzz. It sounds like a fuzz. It, in some ways, acts like a fuzz, and in some ways acts very much not like a fuzz, making it a very, very cool pedal to use. Maybe if you're one of those who doesn't like fuzz pedals, you might really enjoy the About 900. But I have enjoyed the heck out of it, and it has become a staple on my board ever since its release. Let's listen to a sample. Big release of 2021 was the Benson temperature controlled germanium fuzz. As we know, germanium is a very unstable substance, and therefore changes in the environment can really affect the bias of the germanium and the bias of the fuzz in general. So Benson got ahead of that, and they put in a heater, and that germanium is kept at the perfect temperature for the optimal sound of the pedal, and boy, it just sounds fantastic. year's Tom Cram of Spiral Electric manages to make it on my year-end list, and this year he's doing so with the Allora Fuzz. The Allora Fuzz was initially designed to be a higher gain version of the Brute Fuzz, which I adore, and in the creation process, it became its own thing, and it is a wicked and cool fuzz with lots and lots of different kind of textures that you can craft. Closing out the fuzz section this year is a builder that I have had no experience with until this pedal. And if this pedal is any indication of what the rest of their pedals are like, then they're in good shape. I'm talking about the Acorn Amps TMA1. It is a 4-stage fuzz with all kinds of different sculpting options. You can really get just about any kind of fuzz sound out of it that your heart desires. Not to do V2s for year-end list, but this one just grabbed me the right way. And we're talking about the electronic audio experiments Halberd V2. The Halberd V1 was one of my all-time favorite drives. And the Halberd V2 fixed a few of the problems with it, put it in a smaller enclosure. And somehow, I don't know how they did this, but it is just the quietest. It has the lowest noise floor of any overdrive that I have ever tried in my entire life. And it is just wonderful. Out the dirt section, we're actually going to talk about a pedal box set, and this came from Catalinbread. It was a Skewer and Dreamcoat box set, and it essentially gives you some of the strange tools that Ritchie Blackmore used to get his sound, all the way from some effects that were built into the cavity of his guitar to the Iowa tape deck preamp, and to the treble booster. Of course, the Hornby Skews treble booster combined, you can get some really great Ritchie Blackmore sounds, but more importantly, you can use those same tools to make your own sounds. let us get on to the modulation. I'm going to hit 2 different modulation pedals, and a lot of people ask me to pick between the 2 of them. And my answer is always, you should probably have both. The first, again, another V2, but a really, really good one. And unfortunately, this is from a company that closed its doors in 2021 as well. We're talking about the Cooper Effects Generation Loss V2. To me, the Generation Loss is almost an instrument in and of itself. You find yourself changing your playing to meet what the Generation Loss is doing. And that is a cool source of inspiration. And essentially what it's doing is it's mangling the heck out of your signal, making it sound like an old beat up VHS tape, and it's got a lot of cool tricks. Other modulation pedal that we have is the Tefi Vintage Lab Golden Era, and that was created in conjunction with James Edward Bagshaw of the band Temples, and it definitely has a Temples vibe to it. Essentially, it does similar things to the Generation Loss, which is why people are always asking me to choose between the 2 of them, but I think its purpose is very different, where the Cooper Gen Loss is very much a major part of your instrumentation, a major part of the building blocks of whatever it is that you're playing. The Golden Era is an enhancer of what you're playing. So again, very old sounding, very lo-fi sounding, but this one just kind of gets inside whatever you're doing and makes it cooler, where the Generation Loss, I feel, is more part of the process of the creation of the sound. And then here we are at the very last, and this one is kind of a catch-all, but it's one that took me by surprise. I accepted it in as a demo unit, being very skeptical, and almost my curiosity drove me more than anything else. I honestly expected to dislike it a lot because I grew up in a time when multi-effects pedals were not very good at all. And I've never been able to shed that. But, you know, it's been a long time and the technology has come a long way. And the best multi-effect pedal that I have tried this year was the Line 6 HX Stomp XL. Basically, it does everything that you need it to do. for being a part of Demos in the Dark over 2021, this was a huge year for us. We did lots of really, really great guitars. We did some traveling to go meet the guys at Sife Guitars and take a tour of their shop. A lot of really great amp companies sent product through here, and that was just absolutely a lot of fun. And we launched Demos in the Dark Live, my friend Kai Brewster and I, and that has been just an absolute blast. We've had a lot of really cool guests. I'm looking forward to whatever guests we're able to get for 2022. And it was just a big year. And so I thank you guys for continuing to watch, continue to like, continuing to comment, because that's really what makes this all possible. And so I owe all of it to you. I wouldn't be here without you. And another big development for the year, and it came here at the end of the year. I don't know if you guys know, but we lost one of our pugs about a month ago, and that was really hard because the pugs hang out down here in the studio a lot. So we have a new addition to the family, and it is this guy right here. His name is Leo the pug. And so far, he has enjoyed staying up very late and staying down in the studio with me and keeping me company. Unfortunately, he tries to do that on my lap most of the time, which makes it a little hard to play guitar, but he is just absolutely wonderful. So here's to 2022. Can't wait to see what we get. Thank you for your time.